What is going on? What is that? Oh, this is killing my ears. Good God. Oh. Oh my God. Okay, that was insane. All right, I'm just gonna say, look, for real, this thing is not ready for prime time. I hate starting off videos like this, but you know, and I really thought about not even making a video for this. This is the M-VAVE, whatever, Tank-G. And apparently there's a newer version of it, and hopefully V2 doesn't do some of the stuff that I'm having problems with this thing, man, because this is just kind of getting silly. It's kind of like the replacement for the Cube Baby. And look, for the most part, I've had a pretty good time using the Tank-G, but when it starts acting up, it gets stupid. But you know, like the Cube Baby's been around for a while, you know, right? We've all seen this little guy. So the Tank-G is kind of like its big brother at this point. Instead of having 3 buttons, we got 4. They light up. You get the same amount of amp and cabinet choices, but you get some more control over it with mid and bass and treble as opposed to just a tone. And you get control over all of the effects through Bluetooth or through connecting it to the app. I've not been able to make it connect to the app directly to my computer. I have been able to hook it up through the phone. I kind of have had trouble making it like connect sometimes. It'll take like 5 or 6 tries. You know, the thing sounds good. I really want to talk about the positives, okay? The noise that I'm getting, though, is not like noise floor, like that you could dial out with the noise gate that's built in, but like that random strange sound that you heard at the beginning, where it's just like exploding all of a sudden, happens out of nowhere. It happens a lot when you boot it up. I've found that if I just bank up one time to another bank and then just pick a patch and then bank back down to the patch that I want to kind of work with, I've been successful at stopping that noise. But it happened here while I was recording, and man, that'll kill you when you have it in your ears. Oh, it just goes full on red. It's just full output out of this thing. Okay, I'm going to calm down. But the Tank-G, you know, it's a step up. And it's a step in the right direction. Hopefully version 2 kind of addresses some of these issues. But man, oh man, this thing is crazy. The tones are not bad, okay? And I'll get into what it is that I really think that keeps this thing from being usable. But I've been messing around with it for now a week or two, and I've come up with, you know, a couple of patches on this first bank here that I like. But now we kind of get to what I really don't like. Do you hear how it goes away for a second when I change over to a different patch? That audible dip in sound, to me, keeps this from being really usable as it is. If you're the kind of person like me, I like to maybe add chorus or change the patch or do something halfway through the song, or I'm going to end up doing something that alters my core tone at a solo. If you try to do that with this, to go to any patch, there's an audible dip. And you might think, okay, well, I know the Cube Baby had this foot pedal mode. And if you hit these two middle buttons real quick, it brings you into foot pedal mode. So you see right now I'm in bank 1 in patch mode. So I have 4 patches, and the only knob at this point that's functioning is the master volume. So it kind of idiot proofs you. You can't kick any of these or do anything like that. But you also can't tweak any of your settings in this mode. So what you have to do is hit these two, and now it shows you what's on and what's not on. Right now I have my IR stuff on. I have my preamp, and I have an IR on. The orange light is my IR cab. Anything that's blinking here means that the knob doesn't match up with what the setting is. And then anything that's blinking down here on the foot switches shows you what's active. So if I were to now turn off my distortion, you see this stops blinking, that stops blinking. I don't want to get too long into what this thing can do. There's a lot of things that you can do with it now. There's 3 different delay tones instead of just 1. There are some different modulation sounds instead of just chorus or phaser. On the Cube Baby, they were overpronounced. The chorus sounds a lot nicer here. I'm not a big fan of the phaser on this, and it also gives you a tremolo, and it gives you some more control over it. You get the speed, and then within the effect setting, much like a bass katana, there's a range here where the effects range is controlled by the knob. So not only you see where it dips down there, I'm switching between one type of effect to another when it dips like that, but now the more I dial this one in, the more of that effect I'll hear. Until I dial it all the way back. Over to phaser or chorus. So I like that you get more, but what I don't like is you can't just play and then change effects without getting that audible dip. Even here in this mode, you get the same thing. So if you wanted to kind of mess with this in pedal mode, as I would maybe think of it, where you can tweak everything and then kind of come up with a sound and turn something on or off, like even just the delay, you know, that makes it a little less usable to me. So I basically can only come up with 1 sound per song, and if I want to augment anything within that song in a live setting, I'd have to use external pedals. As far as recording, sure, this is great. You can come up with the sound, and then you're going to come up with another track. You're going to select another track, come up with another sound. You can layer your sounds, and you're not trying to do any kind of live switching maybe while you're recording. Playing live, for me, this would not be usable. Or even just jamming with the band in a practice on its own, like I kind of was hoping I could use something like this for. It's just not there. And I'm not trying to knock if you have this and love the Tank-G. It sounds great. It sounds really good. But why does it do that? Have you found a workaround? Or maybe yours doesn't do that. Leave me a comment. If you happen to have a Tank-G that doesn't make that weird audible dip in signal, let me know. If you have one that doesn't do that. If you have one that does do that, let me know as well. I'm imagining you do, though. But I'm hoping that this isn't happening in the newer versions. Anyway, I'd get a deep dive going on this thing. I really would. There's a lot to show you, but just know that, all of the M-VAVE preamps are here. All of the M-VAVE IRs are here. You can load your own IRs into here. I currently can't because I can't make the software come up on my Mac. I probably could with my PC though. So that's something to think about. But man, I really wanted to do a nice deep dive. Somebody asked me to get this and make a video about it. And I was thinking I'd probably make a few about it. I will leave a link to a channel down below that has done a lot of and is continuing to do a lot of deep diving on this. It's Aerosmith TV, not AER like the band, but it's EHRO. I'll leave that link to his channel. He's got a lot of deep dive videos about a lot of stuff, but specifically the Tank-G right now. So I'll refer you to that video for a deep dive. For me, I'm just going to say I can't recommend the Tank-G if you play like I do, where you want to be able to engage and disengage effects during a song without having an audible guitar signal drop for a half of a second. I can't recommend an effect unit that does that, other than if you're going to use this as an ultimate backup, or if you just like to come up with one sound per song, or you just want something to plug in and just come up with a good sound and just use that. Just plug it into your ears and play. That it's great for. I mean, it's really great for, especially when you get the app going and you kind of just sit there and get lost in coming up with sounds. There's some great preamp sounds in here, and if you download your own IRs into here, I'm betting you could really make it shine. But you are not going to sound professional switching on and off effects that make you go quiet for a second. That's just not the way it is. Imagine if the other word it would just drop out and you couldn't understand what I said. Right? You get the point. It doesn't sound great. So anyway, that's my take on the M-VAVE Tank-G. I've liked the M-VAVE stuff that I've looked at. They all kind of have their thing that I can look past. But at this point, I kind of can't look past that aspect of this as far as using it like I would a GX or, an HX Stomp. If I wanted to take a small backup rig and to have in backup of my pedal board, I probably couldn't take this. I'd still end up having to take something like an HX. I just the way I feel. So if you, like I said, if you like yours, which I have a lot of reasons to like it, I really hope that they do some updates and they make this thing a little more likable to what I like. But I'm not trying to knock you if you like yours, because I can see why you would. It has some great sounds, and it's a lot better sounding than the Cube Baby, the original Cube Baby. It's a good step up. So thanks for tuning in. Sorry this isn't like your normal video where I sit here and go on and gush about a product, but I bought it. Nobody gave me that, so I just wanted you to know that this is completely off the cuff and a little bit of a letdown in my world. I was really hoping for a little bit more. If in the future you have this and you've seen it updated, you've seen some updates come through and you're like, hey, it sounds great now, check it out, it doesn't do that thing, let me know in the comment below. But if you kind of struggle with it the way that I do, yeah, I feel for you. I get it. All right, you guys. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time here on Double D Guitar. I'm going to try and play this a little bit more and hope I don't go deaf. Oh, it just happened again. Like literally, this thing just exploded in my ears. I can't recommend this. Like seriously, your sound guy will kick your butt if you send that signal into his PA. Oh my God, that's insane. I wish this was better. God, that's all I have to say. All right, thank you guys. I'll see you next time.